Hello, and a very warm welcome back. I am Sam, your lead tutor and mentor for the Digital and Technology Solutions Professional Degree Apprenticeship. It is fantastic to have you here. Today, we are tackling Skill 26, which focuses on making evidence-based recommendations, taking into account risks, costs, and benefits. The core concept here is bridging the gap between IT and business. This is exactly where your great technical ideas must meet cold, hard financial reality. I want you to think of this as your pitch in the dragon's den. You might have the most innovative cloud architecture in the world, but the executives, your dragons, will always ask, what does it cost, what are the risks, and what is my return? Our goal today is to help you master a structured, repeatable framework for answering those exact questions, building robust business cases that get your project signed off every single time. Let us use my scaffold and ascend method to break down the anatomy of a wise decision. The core task of S26 is moving your vocabulary away from, I think this is a good idea, towards, the evidence shows this is the best business decision. Evidence is the foundation. As technologists, we all have our biases towards our favorite tools, but you must base your recommendations on hard data, user feedback, and objective analysis. Next, you must present the risks. A trusted advisor is a realist who asks what could derail the project and immediately provides a mitigation strategy to protect the client. Then, we must look at costs. This is not just telling them the monthly subscription fee, it is calculating the total cost of ownership, including training, downtime, and long-term maintenance. Finally, you must clearly articulate the benefits. This means combining tangible financial gains, like increased revenue, with intangible benefits, like improved security posture or better team morale. Let us dive into quantifying the benefits. Your goal here is to take complex technical features and translate them into measurable business value that a CEO cares about. We start with tangible benefits. These are the hard numbers. If you automate a manual data entry process, do not just say it is faster, tell them it saves 40 hours of labor a month, equating to £15,000 a year in recovered productivity. Then we have intangible benefits. These are softer but equally strategic, such as boosting your net promoter score, improving brand reputation, or securing customer data against breaches. To do this effectively, apply the so what connection. If you propose moving to a new cloud provider, ask yourself, so what, until you link it directly to a high-level strategic goal, like enabling remote work. The biggest challenge for junior consultants is relying on vague promises. You must avoid saying, this will make things better, and instead attach a solid, defensible metric to every single claim. Now, we must balance the scales by calculating costs. The core concept here is total cost of ownership, or TCO, which reveals the true, long-term financial commitment required over the solution's entire lifespan. First, you calculate your Capex, or capital expenditure. These are your one-time, upfront hits to the budget, such as purchasing new hardware, paying for initial custom development, or setup fees. Second, you calculate your Opex, or operational expenditure. These are the recurring costs that will hit the ledger every month or year, like ongoing software subscriptions, support contracts, and hosting fees. You must also actively hunt for hidden costs. These are the expenses that derail projects, such as the cost of training staff or the temporary dip in productivity while people learn the new system. The value of doing this rigorously is that presenting the full TCO builds immense trust with the finance director and prevents catastrophic budget shocks halfway through the deployment. A credible business case is never purely optimistic, it must assess the risks. Your goal here is to proactively identify potential obstacles before they happen and plan your precise response. A brilliant tool for this is the Pre-Mortem technique. You gather your team and imagine it is 1 year in the future, the project has failed miserably, and you work backwards to list every reason why it went wrong. Once you have that list, you plot it on a risk matrix, categorizing each threat by its potential impact on the business and its likelihood of occurring. For everything landing in the high impact, high likelihood zone, you must document a formal mitigation plan. If a key developer leaving is a major risk, your mitigation is enforcing daily code documentation. The result of presenting this is that it proves to stakeholders you are a pragmatic, experienced manager who protects their investment, rather than an overly optimistic salesperson. We bring all this analysis together using the options matrix. The guiding principle here is that a great consultant never forces a single solution onto a client. Instead, you present options and their trade-offs. Crucially, option 1 must always be, do nothing. By mapping out the current trajectory, you visually prove to the client that the hidden costs and risks of inaction are actually worse than investing in your proposed change. The anatomy of this tool is a simple comparison table where you place your 2 or 3 viable options side by side, evaluating their respective benefits, TCO, risks, and your final recommendation. The outcome of this approach is that it empowers the client leadership to make an informed, highly defensible business decision based on your meticulous research. Adopting this mindset is the exact mechanism that shifts your professional identity from a technical problem solver into a highly valued strategic trusted advisor. Let us look at S26 in action. Imagine your scenario is pitching a complex, unified cloud CRM system to a business that currently runs entirely on disconnected, manual spreadsheets. When you present option A, do nothing, you highlight the hidden costs. You show that manual admin wastes £25,000 a year in labor, and lost leads cost £100,000 a year. Standing still costs them £125,000 annually. When you present option B, implement CRM, you show a TCO of £150,000 over 3 years. However, you also show how automating follow-ups will recover those lost leads and slash the admin overhead. The decision becomes incredibly simple for the board. Your data proves that the CRM investment will completely pay for itself within the first 18 months. The result is that the CFO approves the project immediately because you provided a commercial argument where the evidence overwhelmingly outweighed the sticker shock. For your portfolio, S26 is your perfect opportunity to prove commercial awareness. Structure your evidence using the STARR method. Situation: the marketing director requested a highly expensive, enterprise-grade analytics upgrade, but the underlying business justification was unclear. Task: my task was to build a formal business case to objectively justify whether this investment was appropriate for the company. Action: I calculated the full TCO, ran a pre-mortem risk assessment, and presented an options matrix that compared their requested enterprise tool against a mid-tier alternative and a do-nothing approach. Result: by reviewing the evidence, the client realized the enterprise tool was overkill, and they selected the cheaper, lower-risk alternative, saving £40,000. Reflection: I learned that providing objective, cost-benefit evidence protects the client's budget far better than just saying yes to their initial technical requests. If you are currently executing your major project, Skill 26 is the exact framework you need to write your business case chapter. It is a mandatory requirement. For the cost section, you must include a detailed budget breakdown. Show the assessors that you have accounted for licensing, hardware, developer hours, and ongoing maintenance. For the benefits section, explicitly calculate the expected ROI. If your project saves an hour a day for 5 staff members, convert that time into a monetary saving to prove value. For the risk section, you must include a comprehensive risk register in your appendices, detailing high likelihood threats and your exact mitigation strategies. Why is this so important? Because it proves to the EPA assessor that you possess strong commercial awareness and the management capabilities required of a degree-level consultant. To conclude today's session, the primary takeaway is that a great technological recommendation is entirely useless if it is not commercially viable. Your playbook for success is set: always ground your claims in evidence, rigorously calculate the total cost of ownership, proactively assess the risks, and empower your clients with an options matrix. Adopting this mindset will move you away from being a pure technologist who only cares about code, transforming you into a trusted business advisor who protects the bottom line. Your next step is practical. Go to your workplace this week and try calculating the true TCO of a project you are currently involved in. You might be surprised by the hidden costs you uncover. Thank you for your time, focus, and participation today. Remember to always let the data drive your decisions. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you now feel more confident in mastering this topic. If you found value in this session, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and follow our channel. It really means a lot to me and helps the algorithm show these lessons to other apprentices, just like you, who need support. Don't forget, you can download today's slides and the full transcript at www.mentorinai.com, EPAHUB. While you are there, check out our mock interview and portfolio review services to make sure you are fully ready for your EPA. See you in the next video. Keep learning.